Every story hides a secret. Let's uncover it. The film begins a week before Halloween, a festival where kids roam around dressed in different costumes, wearing strange outfits and masks. We are introduced to a boy named Peter, who goes to school but has no friends. Instead, some kids bully him and he always seems lost in his own world. The poor boy spends most of his time alone. When he returns home, he stays quiet there as well. He rarely goes outside. His parents are shown as overly protective, especially his mother, who constantly worries about Peter's safety. Because of this, she doesn't let him go out or make friends easily. One night, while Peter is in his room, he suddenly hears some strange sounds coming from the other side of his wall, as if someone is moving behind it. Curious and scared, he goes closer to listen, and fear overwhelms him. Terrified, he runs straight to his parents. They bring him back to his room, and when they place their ears against the wall to check, the noise has completely stopped. She replies, "That's just your imagination, nothing more. Don't overthink it and go to sleep." The next morning, when Peter went to school, a new teacher had joined. As soon as she looked at Peter, she sensed that he was frightened and withdrawn, so she tried to connect with him. After all, she was a teacher who knew how to comfort her students. Later that night, Peter was having dinner with his parents. He told them, "Everyone is going outside because it's Halloween, so I also want to go out and play the treat game." Hearing this, his mother immediately refused, saying he was not allowed to go anywhere. Then his father started explaining an old incident. "Peter, even before you were born, a little girl went out on Halloween night to play the treat game, but she suddenly disappeared. Ever since that tragedy, we have been scared, and that's why we don't let you go out alone." After listening to everything, Peter quietly went to his room to sleep. As he lay there, it was shown that someone from the other side of the wall was pushing it inward, trying to force their way in, because something seemed to be emerging from behind the wall. Along with that, Peter began hearing a girl's voice coming from there, repeatedly calling his name. "Peter, come here. Listen to me. I need help." Hearing this terrified him, and he started screaming. His mom rushed to the room after hearing his cries. She checked the walls carefully, even pressed her ear against them, but everything seemed normal. There was no sound at all. That night again, she comforted Peter and put him to sleep, though he was still very frightened. The next morning, his father poured poison along the base of all the walls, telling Peter that the noise might be coming from mice on the other side. "The poison will kill them, and you won't hear any sounds anymore. So, my child, there's nothing to be afraid of now," she said. The following day at school, the teacher asked the children to draw something. Peter drew his room. When he drew the wall, he wrote on it, "Help me." Seeing this, his teacher became very concerned, wondering why the child was asking for help. Because of this, the very next day, she went to Peter's home. To check if everything was all right, the teacher visited Peter's home where she met his mother. Peter's mom didn't like the teacher coming to their house and didn't speak to her politely. She said, "My son is a little strange. He imagines random things and then draws them. So please don't worry and definitely don't come to our house again." After that, his mother angrily went to Peter and showed him a drink, asking, "What is this? Why did you write help on it? Were you trying to ask someone for help? Why?" Before she could finish, Peter quickly said, "Mom, I didn't ask for help. She was asking for it, not me." His mom was confused and asked, "Who was that?" "We're gonna find out about this very soon." But right now, Peter's mother ignores what he said and tells him not to overthink things. She warns him, "These strange thoughts of yours will get us into trouble." And she leaves the room. Later that night, when Peter was trying to sleep, he heard a girl's voice from behind the wall. Peter said, "I know you're not real. You're just in my imagination." But the girl replied, "No, I'm real. I'm here, but not with any bad intention. I just want to be your friend. But if you want me to leave, I will go." Peter tells her not to leave. He stopped there because he had no friends, and this girl was actually trying to befriend him. The next day at school, Peter noticed that all the kids were carving faces on their pumpkins for Halloween. Peter also made a very neat and beautiful design on his pumpkin, which made him really happy. But soon a mischievous boy came over, and just to bother Peter, he kicked the pumpkin repeatedly until it broke. This made the little ghost even more upset. Later that night, Peter lay on his bed crying. That's when the girl appeared again and tried to comfort him. She told him not to worry, saying something similar had once happened to her too, and that he shouldn't cry but take a stand for himself. Her words had an effect on him. So the very next day, Peter went to school and pushed that boy down the stairs. Since he fell from a high step, his leg ended up breaking. When Peter's mom and dad heard about what he had done, they became very worried, thinking about how much anger he was carrying inside. His father didn't approve of his behavior at all, so as punishment, he took Peter to the basement and locked him in there. When his dad locked the place and left, he noticed a large pit there. It was currently covered with a metal grate, but inside it, something strange was lying. The next day, when Peter's teacher was at home, the school principal came to meet her. The principal said, "You shouldn't have let him fall like that. They are very upset about it." The teacher replied, "I was only worried about Peter. That's why I went there, and I felt something very odd in his behavior." At this point, the principal said, "If you are so concerned about him, then we will keep him only in school. You don't need to visit their house." After the principal left, the teacher began checking all the students' test papers. Since Peter's paper wasn't there, she used the excuse of collecting it to visit their home again. Yes, the house was supposed to be shut for 20 minutes, but she wasn't aware of that. Here, Peter's parents talked to the teacher, and we noticed the father behaving very strangely. He was walking around with a hammer in his hand. There was a bruise on his arm, and something seemed like it was bleeding. When asked, he said, "I was fixing some things. I got this injury while repairing." The strange thing was that they had even taken Peter out of school. At night, she takes Peter out of the basement, feeds him properly, and sends him to sleep. As soon as he leaves and is alone, Peter walks toward the wall and starts knocking. The girl appears instantly and begins talking to him. She says, "I worry about you too, so listen to me carefully. Be careful around mom and dad, because they are not who they pretend to be. They act like they love you and care for you, but it's all a lie." Then she reveals a shocking truth. "I'm actually your sister. I've been trapped here for many years. I've been waiting for the day you grow a little older so you can remove the clock on the wall, open the secret door, and set me free." Peter is stunned hearing all this, but he can't fully believe her. So he says, "If you're real, then I want to see you." The girl replies, "You won't be able to look at me. You'll get scared. Staying here for so many years has made me look very strange." When Peter insists that he won't be afraid, she finally says, "All right then, look through that small hole in the wall." When Peter looked closely at the clue, he noticed the girl's unusually large eye, which didn't look real at all. Seeing this, he also became frightened. The girl told him, "My brother, our mom and dad are terrible people. They have tortured me so much that they locked me up in this place. And since you are also their child, they will do the same to you when it's time for your marriage. So be careful." Hearing all this, Peter became extremely nervous. He didn't know whether she was lying about being his sister or telling the truth. This mysterious force and strange voice kept troubling him. Because of this, he started having nightmares about his parents trying to harm him. Every time Peter woke up scared, his mother would come and comfort him, trying to calm him down. The next day, while he was lying in his room, the girl spoke to him again. She said, "Your mom and dad have a plan for you. When you are no longer useful to them, they will bring you here, lock you up, or even bury you in the ground. And if you don't believe me, go to the courtyard and dig the soil yourself. You'll see the truth." When Peter dug into the ground, he discovered a human skeleton buried there. The girl then tells Peter that many years ago, a little girl had come to their house late at night to trade a game. She wanted to ask that girl for help, but she never did. Her parents caught the girl, killed her, and hid the truth so that she couldn't go outside and expose what kind of parents they really were. That's when she realized where the missing girl from years ago had actually disappeared. Because of all this, Peter tries to call his teacher for help, since he was terrified of his own parents. But before he could say anything, the other woman in the house grabbed his face, stopped him from making the call, and started yelling at him. When she walked into the room, she also noticed the secret tunnel hidden behind the wall. She became extremely scared and nervously wondered what exactly the boy must have told her. If anything went wrong, their child's life could be in danger. What still didn't make sense was this. If the girl wasn't locked up by the parents, but by someone behind the wall, then why were the parents themselves so frightened of her? Still shaken, the girl remains scared. That night, she talks to Peter. She said, "I overheard mom and dad talking. They've decided that they're going to kill you as well. You have to do something soon if you want to escape parents like these." A little while later, Peter was sitting at the table having dinner with his mom and dad. That's when his father suddenly started feeling strange. as if something was different. Even the taste of the soup felt unusual to him. His mother also noticed that Peter wasn't eating anything, so she nervously asked him what was going on. Peter calmly replied, "Nothing much. I just wanted to repay you for all the pain you caused my sister." Hearing this, his mother was shocked. She immediately understood everything, and she began vomiting. The truth was that Peter had mixed poison into their dinner because of what the girl had told him. His father died on the spot. Then his mother grabbed a knife and moved toward Peter. But instead of pushing her away, he didn't stop her. She slipped and fell. The shocking part was that she wasn't trying to kill Peter. She had taken the knife to protect him. Because now, after hearing the girl's voice, Peter had removed the clock from the wall and unlocked the door, giving a chance to the girl who had been acting innocent all along. She was speaking with complete innocence. No one could seem kinder than her. But suddenly, her voice changed, and she began laughing and talking in a strange, eerie tone. She stepped outside, looking exactly like a horrifying monster. Terrified, he ran straight to his room and hid under the bed. Why did such a strange incident even happen? The mischievous boy arrived there with his 3 friends to take revenge, but a monster was already roaming inside the house. She cleverly trapped all of them in her web and attacked brutally. She tore one of their bodies apart, ripping pieces out. Another was killed, his bones crushed and stuffed inside a cupboard. The third one she picked up and slammed repeatedly until he died. An extremely painful sight. Meanwhile, the boy was hiding in his room, desperately trying to survive. After killing them mercilessly, the girl began crawling upside down on the walls and ceiling, making her look even more terrifying. When the teacher learned about the heater incident, she became very worried and came to the house to help. As the boy stayed hidden under the bed, the monster sat right on top of it. She now began to reveal her story. The truth was that this monster-like girl was actually Peter's real sister. She was the first daughter of their parents, but she was born with severe deformities that made her face look distorted and frightening. Because of this, she had appeared like a monster since childhood. That is why her parents hid her away from the world, keeping her locked inside that place. They feared that due to her condition, she could become dangerous, aggressive, and a threat to others. Her existence outside could put people's lives at risk, so her parents were forced to make this decision. They even killed the child who came years ago because of some old message, afraid she would expose the truth about this hidden girl. The hair we saw in the basement also belonged to her. Before today, she had never spoken about any of this. During these years, she learned to crawl on walls and ceilings, strengthened herself, and waited for the right moment. She made a plan. She manipulated Peter with her words, tricked him, and convinced him to kill their parents so that she would finally be free. In the end, that is exactly what happened. This means that from the beginning, this deformed monster child carried dangerous, murderous instincts that she developed within herself over time. She wasn't a spirit. She was a real human who had been kept imprisoned there. The moisture in the room showed that children had been staying here. The girl once again locked the boy inside that same room. After some time, the teacher arrived. Hearing their voices, the boy inside the hidden room started calling out. Teacher quickly rushed there and broke the wall. But just then, the girls returned and attacked both of them. They pushed Peter into the pit, and even the teachers began to panic. But Peter acted smart. He grabbed onto her long hair and tried to climb up. With the help of one of the teachers, they managed to throw her back into the pit again and trapped her there. In the middle of all this, we understood something important. The girl didn't actually hate Peter. He was her own brother. The reason for her hatred was different. Peter was fine in every way, but the girl looked like a monster to others. She had longed for her parents' love since childhood, the same love Peter had received instead of her. She could hear and see everything happening around her, and those things constantly caused her pain. This is why her mother and father were always worried about Peter, because they knew they had been hiding a huge secret inside their own home. The little girl who came here earlier wasn't harmed by her own parents, but by Peter's sister. That's why her father buried the girl right here, to keep the truth hidden and stop any further investigation. He locked his deformed daughter away as well so she could never hurt Peter again. After being locked away, she warned Peter that no matter where he or she goes, she will always follow him. She said her unfinished mission is to kill him whenever she gets the chance. Hearing this terrified him, and from that moment on, they could always sense her dark presence behind them. Peter constantly felt that she could appear anytime to end his life. And that's the story. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more thrilling twists and surprises.